All right. I don't remember what I was doing. I think I just set this up. What is this? Wait, operator level? I don't even know what this symbol is. Can I deliver this or something? The values tasks are pretty low, to be honest, compared to just doing my operator level. I must feel like the correct thing to do is just to scale this up, but whatever. And this is the next shape. What is going on with this shape? You have like wedge, circle, wedge, circle, wedge. I want like, and then there's this funny shape at the bottom. Oh, it's really annoying that they want to paint this one piece on the last step. Because I can't just like look up like wedge, wedge, spike, square. Like this shape exists, but it's colored. I don't think there's a way to uncolor things. Yeah, there's spots, but they're far away. Oh yeah, I still got this guy. So maybe this spot plus this spot. I think I also need circles. To change this. Whatever. I'll just build from scratch. I think I have like a thing that does this already. But I might have deleted it. This thing? Yeah. This is producing twice as many lanes. I don't... So what is this? It's split, rotate, swap. I mean, oops. Okay. These, I'd like them to rotate the other way. Yeah. Okay. For Ollie split. Do I have a space splitter that does what I want? This is not really what I want. I just want to make a bigger. Okay. I need some stampers. Our block season. I'll make a variation of this that. Yeah, the problem is Rabbit game has like not been working. It's the game I kind of rather play right now. Huh? Oh, they enter from above? Okay. Okay. I mean, the fact that you saw Ultim's player streams is promising. So I had an idea for trains. Doesn't really matter. It's fine. I don't think I put a stop. That's fine. Yeah, I didn't put a stop here. Oops. Okay, so this will be shipped over now. This is still not arriving? Really? I assume this is it. It's just massive delay. It's wrong. This shape isn't correct. What? Oh, wait, what the fuck? What? This red piece got moved up. That's so stupid. Oh my god. Sometimes, like, from step to step, they don't progress at all. It's like, what? It's a completely different assembly than the previous step. Early on in the game, I liked them because it's like you make a thing and then you use it to make the next thing, and I was like, it's a nice, like, you can kind of like build off your previous thing. But this is just totally different. There isn't a way to move a thing from a lower layer to an upper layer. I just have to change the whole entire manufacturing chain. It's fucking stupid. Yeah, so here we're making this piece. And we combine them right here, but I just don't do that. The problem is I have to bring it over to the other half, so I have to train it over. There's the other piece here. Okay, so right here it needs to be stamped. Whatever. And then I just delete this. Please. Okay. Now it should be correct. This is quite a bit more complicated than the previous shape. So I need to have diagonal circles now that are 2 colors. Maybe here? This spot or this spot maybe? This one they're already in like diagonals. The factory of factories. I think like most factory games kind of play like that. The part that's I'm not a huge fan of is how frequently you basically can't take advantage of your previous designs. Like every step lasts for a pretty short amount of time, and the next step is just like, oh no, you have to change everything. You're just like, okay. Overall, this game is fine. It's not a bad game. It's just not really. Oh, this had the square. No, I don't need a wedge. I needed a spike. I don't know. It's not quite exactly what I look for in a game like this, but it's fine. Okay. There isn't a reward continue to produce old shapes. There is and there isn't. So they have like they have a ton of different like objectives in the game. So there's the milestones. This is like the actual main thing that you care about. And this is like the thing that like they kind of almost do, but doesn't quite work, right? So like you have these shape as a goal, and then this is the next shape. And you can see like, oh, this shape is made from this shape, and this shape is made from this shape. And like you move on, and it's like, yep, you make this shape, and you cut it into half, and you cut it into quarters, or you make this shape, and then you can stack on itself. And then you get to this shape, and you're like, wait, this shape isn't made from this shape. Like, you can't go from this to get to this. But like, instead of stacking on itself, you can rotate it and stack on itself. So like, there is a way where you can change how this shape is made to make this shape. But this shape is not made from this shape. But like as you go on, that becomes like less and less true. And then it gets kind of like when you get to like the later ones, they start having like things where it's like it's sort of a modification of the previous shape, but like it just isn't made the same way. So that's like the main milestone, and this is probably I think like in some ways like the best part of the game. Once you've like finished the milestone, like this final shape, it doesn't go to the next shape. You see like this just ends, and then this is a different set. And you can keep running this, and there's this other tag called operator level, which is if you keep producing this shape, then it will like give you some slow XP reward essentially. So like you can leave this factory running, you could scale it up so these get produced faster, but they're like really diminishing returns. So they're like, it's not really worth investing into making this better. It just exists. So you have like a small reward to keep your old factory. The other thing in the game, which is I think the bigger part of the game, are the tasks, which are kind of the same deal, right? In the milestones, you have like, you basically have 2 separate lines and then they combine. And this works out really nicely because like you can work on the top path, and then while this is being produced, you work on the bottom path, and then while this is being produced, you go back. So you can kind of like zigzag from like the 2 different like paths. And like the flow is pretty nice. The tasks don't do that, they're just straight. And so you can't really do the same way, but there are like a ton of different lines you can work on. And so you can kind of like say choose 2 of these and zigzag between them. So effectively it's the same thing. And it's a little awkward because it's like it's kind of duplicate. It kind of does the same thing as milestones again, and I don't really see like why both of these exist in some ways. Like this just seems like a better version. The task seems like a weird like, well, while this is running, you can do this in the background. Which it just seems kind of odd to me. But the bigger problem I have with the tasks is the milestones, they like way more naturally go from one shape to the next shape. There's like weird things like when you go to these 2 shapes combined, like this part of this shape ends up here and like the layers get like layered in a strange way. Like this is not down here, it's up here. And there's like a hole cut out here, and yeah. So there's some like, and like this top part is rotated. So like it sort of goes together, but it sort of doesn't. But these ones are even like less true. Like I look at this one, you have this shape and it's color green. You're like, great. And you're like, look at the next one. And you're like, okay, the bottom layer is the same, and then I put this other shape on top of it. Okay. And then you look at the next one and you're like, okay, we have another shape that's put on top of that one. That's just like each one is on top of the previous one. Oh, this one's actually straightforward. This one's actually 4 shapes that you just stack on top of each other. That was a bad example. Some of them are just like, they keep recoloring and changing the previous layers. So you like keep having to like, you can't just make this shape. You have to like plan for this shape. And there's like stuff where it's like, oh yeah, this bottom layer is just this shape, which is the same for all of these. This bottom layer is the same shape. But in this last one, they changed this to be a green color, which is like, great. Now I have to change. I have to make sure I plan the manufacturing for this shape. It's like, I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, they all give like generic factory points and stuff like that. I also think like the rewards in these are pretty not good, in my opinion, compared to just doing the milestones. So they really are just like, while you're waiting for the milestones to finish, it just gives you a thing to do. It's okay. It's just not. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of is just the same thing as milestones, but I guess you're supposed to be able to like, oh, I don't want to work on this shape. I want to work on like this shape or something. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just backlogged. The train delay makes things take a really, really long time for manufacturing to go through. I keep checking it every once in a while, but it's like hard to tell. Is he made here? And unfortunately, this thing's bugged. It doesn't tell me. I'll just clear this, I guess. Okay, well, this is broken, apparently. Cool. There's supposed to be like an indicator telling you what shape is being produced, but it's not like showing up. In like most places. Like, this is producing a shape and it's not getting it. Like, this is like one of the most annoying bugs of this game. Of like, they have this cool indicator that help making. I would love, like, in the beginning of the game, I think that's part of my frustration is that beginning of the game it did work, and I was just like, oh yeah, it was nice to be able to like, you build the factory, it says what the output's going to be, and I can just walk away and I know the factory just works. It was kind of nice, like, basically getting the, the factory works without actually running the factory. But like that broke after like chapter 4. It doesn't look like the right shape. I mean, it's sort of the right shape, but there's supposed to be like a thing underneath of it. Or do you get stamped over here? Oh, I guess you get stamped over here. Then this is what gets shipped off. But yeah, it doesn't tell me what the thing is. Win conditions, complete the milestones. Yeah, I guess so. Which makes it feel like not that long of a game, but the thing is that ultimately it's I've said this before, but this game doesn't really play like a factory game. It plays more like a Zachtronics game for like several reasons. And I don't think the goal of this game is to hit this thing really. It sort of is, but like the game's really just about, oh god, I'm finally making it, Jesus. The game's really about like trying to just optimize things. It's an optimization game. And that's not really the same thing that factory games do. Alright, I was trying to make... So I want this shape and I want to destroy this shape. Wait, what? This like did not paste correctly. Okay. So that just produces two, not 4. Okay. Just design one that produces 4 then. Yeah, factory is interesting. But yeah, like your tools are just Zachtronic tools. Like in a normal factory game, you have like an assembler or whatever that turns like some previous component into some like product or whatever. So you turn ingredients into products, and maybe the most complicated thing you have to deal with is like a byproduct. And so factory games are like all about like how do you do the logistics of routing like stuff between different assembly factories to like turn certain ingredients into certain products. This game is like at a high level, I guess you can kind of make it that, which is interesting, but it's really is more like your actions aren't assemblers. Like they're more like Zachtronic options. So like you can have a specific kind of cut. You can't cut in any direction. You can only cut in one way. You can only destroy in one way. You can only swap in one way. But like if you want to cut in a different way, it's like, oh, well, I can do a combination of rotators and swappers in order to do a different kind of cut. And like if I want to swap diagonal corners, like there's a sequence of different cuts and swaps and rotates I can do to like create that. So there's like a whole like puzzle aspect of trying to figure out like what sequence of like the most basic tools will like create a certain operation. And so it's all about like just creating operations. Like how do I turn this shape into this shape, right? All right, so I need this red painted. Just red there, okay. Just a paint extractor, please. Ah. Okay, I want to paint half of this. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna double this. So I'll do it like this. So I'll have two sets. Unload. Okay, painter. I have like painting arrays up here, I think. Copy. Where? Here. Okay. These facing the right way. I don't even know which way these are facing. They are facing the correct way. Okay. Was ever in the Gemcraft? I don't think I've played Gemcraft before. Okay, so now I need a stacker. Okay, I need 2 sets of stackers. I don't know which side's input and which side's output. Okay. Is it breeze in the right shape? Who knows? Because it doesn't show me. Tower defense style gains, most strategy involved. Got it. Yeah, I used to play Congregate back in like high school a lot. That's a classic thing to do when you're like, you finish your work in computer class or like your whatever programming class I was doing. And then I like had nothing to do, so I would just okay, this looks correct. I guess I could work on another shape tier. I mean, this is gonna finish really, really fast. Yeah, I used to tower defense used to be my jam, but I think these days haven't really been doing that kind of stuff anymore. I think like out of tower defenses I've played, I know people talk a lot about Bloon TD, but I think probably one of my favorite ones, and there's different kind of genres. I really liked Element TD because Element TD was like there's a lot of different ways to play it, but also like there's the whole like interest system had this like whole thing where you would like, if you did things right, you'd like sell your towers for money, get the interest, and then buy different towers, and like knowing which towers you could sell and buy at the right timing to like eke out like extra money. It's like really cool. A genre of tower defenses that just hasn't really been a thing anymore for some reason is because like in my mind there's basically like there's like 2 to 3 kinds of tower defenses. Man, we've gone way off topic now. There's one kind that's like, you know, there's like a path, there's like a path that the enemies go along, and you have to build like towers like on the outside the path, and then like this is like the kind of OG version. And then there's kind of 2 subversions of that. One is like you basically only build a couple towers and you just level them up like ridiculously high, like green TD or whatever. And the other one is where like the max level is pretty low, so you end up building like, you just build like 100 towers like along the wall. That's by far the least interesting version, but there's a lot of those. And then the other one, which I always liked more, is the maze TDs, where you have to like, build the path by like you put the towers down, they create a path, and you need to like not block it. That's always been the most interesting kind to me for tower defenses. And there's I think probably my favorite one would be line TD from Warcraft also. Line TD was like a versus like version, because I really like the whole like you can choose between either like building up your defenses or like sending waves of enemies that like waves of enemies at your opponents, and like that was like what kind of maze you want to build like depended on like the kind of towers you had. I don't know. I always thought that stuff was cool. There was like another like team-based version of that. What's it called? I don't remember. I'd have to like boot up like TFT to like remember any of these tower defenses. But I played a lot of TFT tower defenses back in the day. Some pretty cool ones. How is this still not done? Is there just no train? Oh, there it is. I don't know how I feel about the trains in this game. There's something about trains that I feel like I'm just approaching incorrectly that like annoys me. Yeah, Gem TD was fun. So this is wrong, apparently. Wait, no, that's the previous. That's still previous. This is still the previous. How is it still sending the wrong crap? I'm seeing it load up with the stuff. There's also like a ridiculously nice quality of life that like just doesn't exist until like way too late. This thing that lets you send your trains directly in. It's kind of nuts that that's like an end game reward. So I need green and red for this. Wedge, circle, spike. Wedge, circle. Lots of wedges. This is squares. So yeah, it needs all 4 shapes. I don't... Isn't this the shape of like the second tier thing? No. No, yeah, it's the same shape. So that's great. It's right next to green. So this one's really nice. And then to do the second one, I need spike, wedge, circle. Well, there's spikes like right here, so I could use those. And then I think there's like wedge square or something like that I could use for the last one. And it's red. So this is a good spot. Oh, I need to click this button. Yeah, I need the same thing I did down here. This thing? It's not right. I think I want the style. No, it was. I can't find this factory. It's like so hard to find stuff. Where did I just build this last factory? Not this one. Not this one. Wasn't it? It was this one. Hold on. Okay. This is the wrong rotation. I don't know why these have... Producing the right thing now. It needs to be rotated. I guess I'll just rotate it here. This way. Okay. So now it's the same shape, but a red wedge stuck on top. Okay. Which I can just stick right on top, right? Thinking red, they need to be rotated. Then it needs to be stamped on top of this. You gonna tell me what it's being made? Nope. No idea if it's correct. That is wrong. Yeah, I think there's a few of these that were facing the wrong way. Why are some of these facing the wrong way? Whatever. I think it's correct. Okay, so bring a belt of this shape. Paint collector. Need a painter. At some point I need to unlock colored trains so I can have just fewer share train lines. I don't know. That's the wrong way. I don't even know what's on these lines because they're like always empty. I don't know, whatever. Okay. How is this thing doing? This is still not delivering. Why? Where is it? It's here, right? This looks correct. Okay, I guess it's still draining the previous stuff. There must have been a really big backlog. It's like these numbers are low enough that the problem, the trains carry like 10,000 resources. So like if I've train connecting the train, like linking places together, it's like the buffers become just so enormous that every time I only make a small number of these shapes and then go to the next thing, it's like, oh, well, time to like wait like an eternity for the thing to finally drain out or whatever before it goes to the next shape. Kind of wish there was like a better way to deal with that. I'm also like doing shapes from like 3 milestones ago because I can't keep up with these tasks. Okay, it's being made. It correctly matches. I have to actually check because if it had the indicator that's supposed to have, I would feel fine. I don't know why the indicator's not showing up. It's really, really annoying. Yeah, I can try working the next shape, but this is like coming up so soon. I need spikes. I need spikes and squares in general. Because this needs spike on the normal shape. And then this needs... Oh no, it's squares on a wedge shape. Which I'm not making. Okay, I mean, I can wake it. But, oh, I can just make it from this. Yeah, okay. Rotates this way. Which shape is it? Oh, I can't see it. What if I just do this right here? Did I not put a... Oh, I put the wrong rotation down. There we go. What I want to do actually is... Okay. So that needs to be layered on top of the same shape. Okay, grab a bunch of stampers. That stamps on top of this shape. This has to be like drawn in the correct way. Bro. Why is drawing rails so annoying? This is so stupid. Why are you not giving me the jump? Oh my god. It sometimes it autos, sometimes it doesn't. Wait. Oh shoot, did I do this backwards? I did. I really fucked this up then. Okay. Is this facing the right way? Yeah, I think so. Okay, cool. Okay. So next shape. What exactly is this? It's just another one stacked and another one stacked this way. Where are my wedges? Here? Okay. I need 2 more sets of stackers. Okay. I want to rotate these. Can I fit this right here? Yes. These need to go low. And this needs to come over here. Definitely some spaghetti. What's the compass on the bottom left? I'm not sure, but this like shows up as my operator level. I have wondered like what the deal with this is. This changes like every time I upgrade the level. I'm like, do they want me to make this shape? I don't know. And I'm gonna paint this thing green. Where the hell do I want to put this? Guess this is fine. I think I just want to have a normal extractor here, right? It needs to be rotated. Okay. And this needs to stack on top of this. That should be good. Hopefully. Oh, it actually gave me the indicator this time. How magical. Part of me feels like it's trains. There's no trains involved in this like design. It's all contained here. For some reason trains it just like fucking dies. Is this the correct shape? Not C. They're like moving too fast. That looks correct. Okay, it is correct. Okay, so this is finishing. This shape and this shape are the same shape. But this part's green and this part's green. Sounds annoying. Oh, I need green paint. So I guess the idea here is I would just paint half of this. Which half? The further one. So this one needs to be painted. I'll just have that routed for when it's ready. And then I also need to paint. This thing needs to be... Why did I saw that flicker? Oh, right, because it's on 2 different layers. Whatever. Kind of need to paint like half and then let the other half through, I guess. Surely I can design that. Oh, that's actually really it's actually kind of annoying to route in. This kind of sucks. It's like, it's almost right. All right, here's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be kind of weird, but I can't do that. Okay. Wait, hold on. Send the uppers through. This is the lower. Okay, yeah, I think that's correct. Then this needs to be hooked up. Guess I kind of just need to clear everything, right? Alright, whatever. Okay, what do I need here? I need to make this red piece. It's made from this thing, I think. Okay. Want to rotate, delete. And rotate. Okay. Hmm. Oh, I guess these can just split, right? That'd probably simplify this. Well, it's not correct, but it's... All right. And this needs to be painted red. That sucks. I'm just gonna do this. Oh, I drew the wrong. Wait, why is it? I'm so confused why. I'm pressing the button for pipes, but it keeps placing belts. Okay, whatever. Alright. This needs to go on top right here. Trains, load. Okay. Whatever. I was being very careful there not to break that train. Okay. Is this correct? I thought I saw green on that. Well, definitely not. Yep, you're making green and white. It's like mixed. Hmm. I'm I'm just gonna clear everything. I don't trust this. That doesn't even clear everything. It doesn't even clear the things in the underground. Whatever. Like, that's an annoying part about not being able to just use the previous product for as an ingredient. It's because like I have to wait for like all these buffers to empty. It takes like an eternity. Okay, well that's the end of both of these tasks, and this is still gonna take a while, so I guess we'll work on the next thing on the line. I do have to wonder if this is actually running at full speed. Which one even is it? It's this one. No. It's something that is not running at full speed. It's this one. What the hell is this belt? It goes to nothing. So connected like doesn't work. Yeah, this is a really empty belt. Actually empty belt. No wonder it's taking forever. Is this supposed to be merging? Oh yeah, this is supposed to be merging. Hold on. Do I have a merger done already? Okay, now this belt's full. Spells. Hoping to see a full belt over here. Mostly full. What is what? What? Okay. Well, apparently this was mixed still. I feel like I've broken something. Yeah, this is the wrong shape. These lanes had bad stuff buffered on it. Man, I just can't get a break here. The buffering in this game is such an issue. And as always, I really wish I could just look here and say like, yep, it's outputting the correct thing, because I have no idea. Whatever solver it's using is just not intelligent enough. How does it only get like 150 then stop? What? That was like done like an eternity ago. That looks correct. There's just no train here. There's a train. Okay, it's going. God, that... How's a delay that bad? I mean, it's going. Guess I should maybe consider upgrading stuff. I don't know. It kind of burns sitting on the belt speed stuff, but we need to upgrade like all of these to not break everything. Which makes it like really expensive. I think just train speed is just, this does not go up very much. Like this is like a 25% increase, and this is like a 10% increase. Like train speed increases are such a joke compared to capacity. I don't know why these numbers are so different. I don't know. Our milestones, are they finally coming in? I can only fill this section of belt is like how much my train brought in. Is it correct? It is. Yay. Okay. Now what? There's so many missions. I'm kind of like already getting a little dunzoed with the game, and I feel like I haven't gotten, like there's still 2 more mechanics. I just want to do the new mechanics, and I'm just like, I don't feel like doing, like all these puzzles are kind of very samey. Like they're not even getting more complicated as I'm going down this list right now. They're just, it's just more of the same, just different. And like I've already done a bunch of them, and I'm kind of already getting a little worn out, which implies to me that I did not put anywhere near as much throughput to this as I'm supposed to have, because, well, I don't know, these are still like milestone like 5 stuff. Like the current milestones are color painting, and the first one that involves color painting is this one, 22. So all of these are still the previous milestones. I even like caught up. And we're like gonna delete all this now. I don't know how I deleted that square. And this thing is also done. I think this is, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess like what I'm getting at is I'm kind of feeling like I'm ready to move on a little bit. I am very interested in checking out like these new mechanics. Level 7 and level 9 have like both new mechanics. And then level 8 and 10 don't introduce any real mechanics. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I feel like going through all of this. I'd rather just wait until the 1.0 comes out. I think I have like a general gist what the game is like, and then 1.0 is supposed to have like a more factory styled game. Maybe that'll be a little more appealing to me. Unsure. It might end up just playing like kind of the same way. I'll say that it is very awkward to like unload stuff into the vortex. I don't like that the current method. Like in theory, most of these are actually producing 4 times the amount as what's here. Like this is totally backed up because I'm actually producing 4 times this amount. But if I actually want to put this amount, like a full belt of one lane of a full belt, is to require having 4 like of these sides filled. And like if you do that on like that's only enough for 3 inputs. Like you literally can't do that. Like you're very limited by how much of a shape you're allowed to put into the vortex. Which is like kind of annoying because like, oh, I have to like wait a long time for us to finish. I can't really make it go faster. Yeah, it's awkward. That's why I won the train thing that lets you just dump the whole train in, which lets you like have as much throughput as you want. But that doesn't work because that's like a tier 10 thing. Yeah, when 1.0 comes out, this just be like a factory mode. I think the way it's described is that there's going to be a new set of buildings like that are like the giant buildings that like ask for specific inputs and then they give you an output. And then that output is used as part of like the next stage. So instead of there just being like all the shapes available, my impression is that only like some of these shapes are available, like as like raw resources, and then you like have to feed them into to these. They call them trade posts, I think, but that is you put them into these assemblers and they turn them into different shapes, and then you can use those shapes to like bake the next tier thing. And then like the other bit is supposed to be supposed to be some kind of alternate recipe thing, which shrug, I don't know. But it's like basically every building there's 2 recipes for every building. So like you have there's 2 different sets of shapes you can try to go for to go to the next stage. There's a lot of specifics that I don't really know, obviously, and I don't really know how it would actually play. So, I don't know. Well, I'm trying to decide of like there's a few other things that's kind of keeping open to do, but they're all like multiplayer things that people were talking about doing, but no one's contacted me. If I wanted to move on to something else, what would I want to do? I don't know. There's like a bunch of things that are out that I don't know if I want to do right now as part of the issue. Alright, it's done. Pushes up and creates a support pin below every non-empty quarter on the first layer. See, what confuses me about this guy is that this is asking for pins on top. Yeah, like how do I make this? What? It's pain. Can I find an easy, simple harvester somewhere? It's a normal harvester. Whatever. Pin pusher. Pushes a shape up and creates a support pin below every non-quarter. Yeah, it puts pins below on these two squares. So how do you make this shape? This one makes sense. Because you can have this layer, pin push it, rotate it, and then crush it. I don't understand how you make just a floating pin. Okay, put it connected. Shape quarters that are not connected will fall once stacked. Over support pins can build shapes that are impossible to build otherwise. Pin pusher pushes support pins on every non-quarter of the first layer. These pins hold up the quarters and can be stacked themselves. Utilizing this technology, you can create shapes that are otherwise impossible, large gaps elevated by multiple layers. Yeah, so I figured layer limit was going to come into play. Yeah, they've mentioned the layer limit before. It uses to create shapes with pins on top. But like that has like 4 layers of pins below. It's just one pin. I don't know any way to remove, like, to drop things down to 1 layer. I, this was mentioned somewhere else, and this is the only thing that like came up. Was like, yeah, if you try to stack higher than 4 layers, the top layers get destroyed. This came up with the stackers, but that doesn't solve this problem. Yeah, they don't have an example of how to make this shape. Sort of cyan, apparently. Like this is easy. Yep, that's straightforward. This I can make. I don't know how to make this shape. And then yeah, the shape is like, how am I getting pins on top? This one at least is doable because it's 4 layers. But this is a 1 layer shape. And I remember when I was looking at the tasks, there's a whole bunch here that I was just like, yeah, I don't know how to make these. Like a bunch of them to have pins on the top. But again, when it's 4 layers, I understand that there's a how to do this. It's a pain in the ass. But that like is fine. That's 4 layers. Yeah, there's 4 layers. See, although all of these examples don't have, the ones where the pins are on top aren't 4 layered. Which sounds doable, right? Then here's a 3 layer one. 4 layer. So these actually all look doable, but they're like really annoying. You have to stick pins on top. Yeah, because it's 4 layers. So getting pins on top on a 4 layer shape, that all makes sense to me. Yeah, it seems to be just a milestone. This shape is just impossible. I don't understand. Is a pin something you can mine? I don't think so. Yeah, there's no pin. It's a filterable like thing. I've never seen it, a pin as a thing you can mine. Ugh, I like rotate the camera by mistake. I'm going like far away. You start seeing like some like yellows and color mixing. But I'm not seeing anything like the crystals or whatever. Yeah, I don't think you can mine a pin. But yeah, like I can get things stacked on top. That's like not actually. Because then I can just. Hold on. Yeah, so this will like create a pin on top. But it's again, it's a it's 4-layer. I don't know how to do it for just a single layer object. That's so weird. This is literally the only example in the entire game. Like, it's so bizarre. Like, this shape is buildable. All of these shapes are buildable except for this one. It, like, makes me feel like it's literally a bug. Like, that's a 4-layer shape. Yep, that's fine. Yep, those are all fine. Oh, this one's a problem. See, this one's only 3 layers. Yeah, this one's also not buildable. There like must be an operation that I'm like not aware of. There's only 2 cases where this happens in the entire everything. And I don't know if this is just like a hard mode bug. But I think more likely there's probably just a way to do it. Yeah, and this is a 1-layer object. It's not like there's a bunch of pins below it. Yeah, as far as I know, there's no way to delete the top layer of an object. You can like shift, like do like a shift so that like as long as there's still 4 layers, you can keep adding to the bottom or to the top. But you can't just go less than 4 layers. As soon as there's more layers, you can't just remove them. I don't know any way to. Yeah, so everything you stack on above the 4th layer is just deleted. Now, what's surprising is I thought that this bottom part here would fall through, but I guess since they're connected, it doesn't fall through. Yeah, I don't know. This is so ridiculous that, like, because you just have so few verbs in this game. I'm, like, literally just going to look this up. Shapes to pin only. How do I get non-max height naked pins? Raise the pins on a shape of one quadrant, then cut off the pins afterwards, not stacked, whatever. What are you talking about? I have an idea, but I don't know if it's going to work. Okay, if I pin push this. Ah, see now the pin is separated. Okay, so if I keep pushing up. How is this the solution though? This is so fucking complicated compared to everything else. Like all the other things that involve pins are easy as hell. Okay. Okay. So you have this shape. So what does it need to look like? Apparently this is an objective. Just pins. This is so dumb. Yeah, this is a terrible first milestone task. It's really extra stupid because, like, everything afterwards is really easy. Like, this shape could have been made like, okay, I get a square, I push pin it, and then stick it onto this shape, and then I stick it on, like, and then I push pin it again, stick it on this shape. Like, these are made, like, through normal operations that feel like with the push pin. Every single one of these, like, except for this one. This is unbelievable. Well, on that note, okay. Cool. All right, I'm gonna take a break. I'll give a think on what I want to do next. Um, and if I'm up for something, I'll be back later tonight. Decide what I want to work on. I don't know if people have any specific recommendations, I guess. I don't usually take those, but I have a bunch of games I'm sitting on. I just don't have any games that I like feel like playing out of my list. One game I'm like half considering playing is Talos Principle 2. I just wasn't a huge fan of the first game. I don't know. Dome Keeper. Oh, it's beta? I thought it was out. I see. Multiplayer test. I mean, I'm not against. I figure we were waiting for more people to play that. But I didn't realize it was like a beta weekend thing. I thought it was just out. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know, I guess. End stream. Thanks for watching.